Nothing says low-key like a $1.5 billion LED guitar lighting up the Florida sky. Today, I'm trading shots for slots, weaving through the Hard Rock Casino to meet a man who treats poker like combat. They didn't just let me in, they handed me the press pass. Full clearance to film inside the poker room. My guest? Harrison, nightclub manager turned poker pro, and the mind behind Miami Phil. He's played through brutal downswings, chased the graph back into the green, and still shows up with the discipline most pros fake. This is Seminole Hard Rock. The stakes high, the grind intense. Pull up a chair, Harrison's already in the pocket.
What's going on, man?
What's up, hon?
How you doing? Where have you brought me?
We are sitting in the ballroom of the Seminole Hard Rock Casino during the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open. It is a major event poker tournament series that comes once a year and is part of 4 other major series that makes a pit stop here in South Florida.
What do you think the net worth is in this room right now?
That's a great question. I mean, so over here they're playing a $25,000 buy-in super high roller. There's got to be at least 20 million in net worth just at that table.
Oh my God.
There's a certain guideline you're supposed to follow in regards to bankroll ratio to buy-in event, and a 25K buy-in should be in a very small percentage of your net worth.
I'm glad I dressed up. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
High stakes. Well, let's start at the beginning here. I know Harrison. We've seen some of the craziest nights imaginable together.
We have. We spent a decade together.
I've
side
seen you
by
air
side.
guitar in the middle of a busy nightclub with dollars flying through the air, and
For good
you've
times.
been able to manage and host some of the best parties ever thrown. And I don't think it's a
Absolutely.
stretch to say something like that. So
Right.
I know who you are, but introduce yourself.
All right. I grew up on Miami Beach, born and raised on Miami Beach. Finished high school a little early. Started in the workforce at about 16 years old with a company that was at the Miami Beach Convention Center. So I started off in hospitality, food and beverage management, with the #1 hospitality provider for sports centers, arenas, and convention centers.
Yeah, 16 is a super young age.
Yeah, I was doing that part of OJT, which was a program in my high school where I was able to essentially leave school early after lunch as long as I had a job. So as long as I had good standing at work, I was able to leave and make money for myself at 16.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. And from there, I just went full time at work. I tried to get into college, but that didn't work. I already had bills, I already had a girlfriend, I already had a fancy car. And I was like, I was out and about. So I didn't see
Yeah, you're
really
skipping steps in life.
Yeah, I spent 9 years at the convention center where I was able to go from a food runner and busser after school to a full-time operation food and beverage manager. So from there, the convention center underwent like $1 billion renovation, and it was either farm out my salary, travel around the United States, leave behind my parents, or hit the ground running and figure where I was gonna land. And at the time, one of my best friends was working at the club. They told me, I'll set you up with an interview. And I took that as a major opportunity to get into something that was groundbreaking. Little did I know that opportunity went on to be a groundbreaking signature at the most revolutionary nightclub to ever enter the world. And that club is 11 Miami. And that's a whole story within itself. Yeah, man.
So
it's been an interesting ride the last 20 years.
We've got some stories.
We do.
Not all the best for camera right now, but maybe another time.
Yeah.
But right now, I want to talk about, when did poker enter your life?
I got into poker probably when I was like 19 years old. I was playing cash games. I didn't know anything that I was doing. At that time, poker was very alive and very publicized. ESPN, everybody knows the Moneymaker era, where Moneymaker turned his fortune from starting in a $30 satellite. He basically bought a satellite ticket where he had to win, and he went on to win the main event. So that really started what everybody refers to as the poker boom.
Would you say that inspired you?
I was very young at the time. I must have been like 10 or 12 years old around that time. So I didn't understand it, but I understood that it was a lot of fun and there was a lot of money involved, right? Didn't have a clue what I was doing, lost a bunch of money for the first 2-3 years.
Sounds like me.
It's all of us, man. We get our feet wet, we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, when did you feel
About
like
10 years ago.
You were hooked? 10 years
10 years ago, yeah. Where I moved up in the States, I went from playing casually 1-2 to playing 2-5, where the
jump.
stakes are a little bit higher. You go from having roughly 2,000 at a table to having about 10,000 at a table at a time. So there's a lot of money involved with that. I was gambling at a very high level, not poker. I was gambling against a casino, I guess you could say. I was playing baccarat and craps, and I was taking multiple trips a year to Baha Mar. Baha Mar had a grand opening in 2017, that's in the Bahamas. And the first trip I went, I won an absurd amount of money.
What's an absurd amount of money?
70,000% of your money.
70,000%.
70,000% of your money.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And it was 2 days of blunder, okay? And I was on the high roller scene in the casino in Baha Mar for almost 10 years. It came to a turning point, and I was in the Bahamas with a good friend of mine who's actually over our shoulder here playing the high roller event, and we were there for a very large series that travels. I said, what do I need to do to get into poker professionally? Because I hadn't had the clue. You know, his name's Noah Schwartz. He's sitting over there. He's a highly decorated pro, millions and millions in earnings. At one point was the #1 grossing poker player out of Florida. He has a very, very decorated resume. Who do you go to when you know nothing? You go to the first person you know you can rely on, right? And I went to him and he said, look, you definitely have an edge with gaming. You understand high stakes. You've been playing against the casino at a very large buy-in for a long time. So you definitely have a lot of courage in you. And a lot of times with poker, it's the courage to face a bluff and call it. Because a lot of times somebody's bluffing you, trying to get you off the hand. So he said, look, with a lot of practice and a lot of studying the game, you can go far. So I took that, and I think that was in the spring, and by the summer I had my first cash in a major series. I ended up that year with 2 min cashes. I don't want to act like it was anything special, but it taught me that it's possible, right? So from there we went into 2024, and I had my worst run of poker. I didn't cash 1 tournament series for the entire year. I came into December like, okay, what the hell did I get myself into? Is this really for me?
Yeah.
And, again, going back to the drawing board, talking to friends, talking to pros, it takes a real champion to survive that and succeed with anything in life. You get knocked down, you get back up and you win.
Yeah.
That's what it's about a lot of the time. So right now, my record has grown to 12 or 13 cashes, 1 first place finish, 1 second place finish, multiple top 10 finishes, multiple WPT final tables. And for me, the changes that I've made in my game and brought to the felt made a difference. And I want to bring that back to the game and share that with the poker community.
Congratulations on not only the wins and the placings, but also digging yourself out of the bad beat.
With poker, like anything, every single hand you're at a table. And every single hand you face, you could potentially face elimination, or you're going to lose a big part of your stack, or you're going to win. So you have to constantly adjust. You're constantly adjusting your thought process. You're constantly adjusting everything that you're doing, your posture, your facial expressions, your hand movements, your breathing. Everything comes into factor when you're playing at this level, because the person next to you is trying to kill you every second of the game. Plain and simple. Poker is war, and it needs to be taken that seriously.
If someone's never seen you play before, what's one thing that they should know about you at the table?
It's an oxymoron in poker. Poker, you never want to give away anything about yourself. People are constantly trying to exploit you based off of tells and information they think you're giving up that they can in turn use against you down the road.
Sounds like an ex-girlfriend.
For sure. Which is why I'm single. But I was sitting with a pro, and he's like, hey, bro, your game is great. Here's some tells about yourself that I noticed.
Oh, he read you.
And I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I was so torn by it, because I try to be so stoic at a table or so all over the place that nobody's going to get anything. And I'm mixing in both. So it's like, well, what is he coming with? Or what does he have? Or is he checked out? Is he not focused? But wow. Really, I'm sitting on the nuts. So
that's scary.
Yeah, it's very, very, very scary. But so, like, to answer that question is I can't give you that, because that's something that somebody's going to have to try and get out of me.
But it's terrifying to have a complete stranger sit across the table from you and tell you things about yourself that you've never even noticed.
I don't know if anybody, do you go to therapy? It's a personal question.
I use AI for therapy like everybody else in 2025.
So, okay, it's true, okay. But, in therapy, you're sitting with a human being, right? And the human being is telling you things about yourself you don't particularly want to hear, but you have to address. So when you hear things about yourself that you don't agree with or you don't think are true, it puts you into a blunder in your mind where it's like, what, is it true? And then you replay scenarios and moments and you're like, oh my God, I am giving away this information. So again, once I took that little piece from Eric, kind of dialed in a little bit deeper, harder, and it brought me one notch higher. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
So financial stakes are high. Emotional stakes are now obviously very high. Mm-hmm. What's at stake for you tonight, professionally and personally?
Man, I need to add something, and I want to be very clear about this current time that we're sitting across from each other. I'm in the middle of, aside from 2024, I am in the middle of my worst run in a series that I've ever experienced, okay? And I don't want to sit here in front of you and in front of a camera and pretend that I'm the best or my game is so great and I cash every single game that I sit in or I cash every single tournament that I play in, because it's just not true. To be perfect is unachievable. And if anybody, even at the top level, says otherwise, they're lying. This game, this arena that we play in is meant to break people. The game itself mentally destroys people. So when you ask me what's at stake today, given that today is the last and final day of this series, and I just busted every single tournament that I played at an unfathomable amount, it's past a financial gain at this point. For me, it's just saying, hey, get back in the game. Let's try to score on 4th and goal. So we're at stake tonight. It's not about the gamble. It's not about the performance. It's about the hardware. And sometimes you're put into positions and spots that you're going to take major risks to get that. And you're going to be put up against a wall. You have no other outcome other than to fight. So I'm here to fight. I'm here to perform my best and do the best that I can. And that's all that I can do.
Walk me through your pregame ritual. I mean, every athlete in every major sport has a way to get themselves in the zone. You very much have to be in the zone when you're playing a sport like this.
100%. It's a great question, Vaughn, because it is the most overlooked and most important piece of the puzzle when getting ready to embark on a tournament or an entire series. With anything in life, there's a lot of practice that comes in to be successful at anything you do. A lot of studying, a lot of repetitions, practice, playing, but nobody really takes into consideration the mental factor. It's an everyday lifestyle, right? And you want to be the optimal human. You want to be healthy. You want to be in shape. You want to go to the gym and perform to your highest ability. But I think it's very important that preparation mentally is the key to success. Preparation with a diet and what you eat. Mind you, we're sitting at this table for a minimum of 8 hours. To get somewhere close to the money or in the money, you're playing for at least 8 hours. That's 8 hours of constant thought processes. I mean, your body is burning through calories just off of your mental performance, right?
I was going to say, that sounds like such a taxing job on your mind.
I mean, my ritual, definitely, I can tell you 100% there's a difference in my performance when I fall asleep and sleep on my couch the night before or the day before a tournament compared to when I sleep in my bed. And I could tell you there's a difference in what I'm eating the 72 hours leading up to a game compared to when I'm just like winging it, fast food, getting off my diet, getting off the meal plans, not drinking enough water. So it's all these things for me. And again, it's more of a lifestyle, positive habit that I'm trying to maintain than it is just a single ritual. Now, don't get me wrong. There's rituals involved that I like to take practice in, superstitions and things like that.
Yeah, let's dive into that. Do you have any superstitions?
I do. I have a lot of superstitions.
Very superstitious.
Extremely superstitious. So I'm a big fisherman, and there's a lot of superstitions in the world of fishing. So you come into the sport of poker, and gaming and gambling. And there's major superstitions in that, man. To the clothes that I pack, the socks that I pack, the bathing suits that I bring, what hair gel or what hair product, toothpaste. I don't want to sound like a full-fledged psychopath, but when the stakes are high and you want to be in your zone, you want to control every ability that you possibly can for the best result. So call it superstition, but you know what? That's what works for me.
Yeah.
And it's important for people to get in their rhythm and to find what works for them. Pay attention to the details of life, man. Pay attention to what's going on around you. I'm paying attention constantly. There's been plenty of times that I'm on the way here and I'm like, I see something that I don't like. I'm turning around, I'm coming home. And I've tested it and busted out. So for me, there's a lot of details. You know, there's a lot of seasoning in the soup for me.
So you have those signs that bring you off of a mindset. You know, you're chasing a mindset.
Correct.
What is the ideal mindset for you to walk in here and be successful?
Calm and collected, centered. And
It's like golf.
you want to have ultimate mental clarity, you know, and that's so important, man, because I've been playing this game and been in a relationship and a past experience where I'm talking about I'm way out front with a chip lead and then I'm cruising into the money and I receive a message and it just completely explodes my game and it's over.
Throws you
and
off.
I lose it. So, I mean, you have to be focused, man. You have to be structured and mentally ready to go to war, because for me, I make the most mistakes when I'm not focused, and I think any human being does. It's just human nature.
If you had to compare your playing style to any major sports athlete in the world, who would you compare it to?
Gronkowski.
Because you just break everything.
I think of it in a
Gronk, dude, I thought you were gonna say like Kobe or something.
No, because you have to appreciate the level that Gronk plays at. Now,
Mentally or physically?
everything.
Okay.
Mentally, he's a maniac. And in this game, sometimes you have to be a maniac, okay? But he's also a multifaceted tool on that team. He can go out, pick up a pass, run it down the field, or he's gonna barrel through a hole.
Oh yeah, he's barreling through plenty of holes.
So, in all seriousness, in this arena, right, you're constantly adjusting. So, with respect to the game, you have to have a toolbox.
Yeah.
And I think Gronkowski is somebody that has a tool shed. Won multiple championships. It's proven his ability to adjust on the field, in game, in big pressure situations, just proves himself.
Definitely somebody that left his mark on the trophy because
Absolutely.
he spiked the trophy, but he earned the right to do that.
Correct.
Not many people can do that. So,
Correct.
do you personally play the math or the man across from you?
The math is very important. Don't get me wrong. If you ask me what is the highest success strategy-wise, is it going to be just to play math? It would be just to play math. But in certain situations, in these big field events, in these large rooms, there's a lot of bluffing going on. So you have to play the player. You have to try and pick up live tells. And you have to try and essentially piece together the puzzle that somebody's trying to say or trying to portray to you. If you ask me what's my favorite style to play on, it would probably be the feeling and instinct.
Do you love to win more than you hate to lose, or is it the other way around?
I hate to lose. And I don't think anybody likes to lose. But for me, it's what fuels me to get better. And I hate to make bad decisions. And in work, I never like to fail. I've executed on the highest scale in nightlife, some of the largest orders that anybody can imagine. $40,000 champagne order that goes out flawlessly. It has a lot to do with who I am as a person and trying to achieve perfection all the time. So I can't imagine losing. And when I do lose, it hurts.
I want to talk to you more about your Miami Felt charity.
Okay. Miami Felt isn't a charity. I want to start off by saying that. I made a pledge because I started Miami Felt as a public channel for social platforms. So Miami Felt is me on a public stage in poker. It's a channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of different strategies, knowledge, live moments from a table, deep runs in a tournament. But most importantly, my pledge is going to be starting to give back 5 or 10% of all winnings.
And who are you giving that to?
Different
who
charities.
Are you helping out?
I want to focus on mental health. Okay. I'm somebody that has had my issues with mental health as far as anxiety and things like that. I've had a lot of people close to me that I've worked with, that I grew up with, friends, family we've shared very similar mental health struggles. And I've always tried to focus on that. And a lot of it has to do with somebody who made the greatest impact on my life outside of my parents and family. And that individual is Mark Taglianti. He was a larger than life individual, and he took a special liking to me from the relationship that we built on a personal level. He started off as a client, my biggest client at the time, and it grew into a friendship, to a brotherhood, then into a business partnership. I was a very active part of his family on a daily basis up until the time that, we lost him. So it was a dream of mine to start a charity of the Mark Tag Fund, because mental health is serious. And sometimes all it is just picking up a phone call for somebody on the other line. I come to find out that his niece has started her charity, and it focuses on mental health. So once all this came to me, it was just like, oh my God, it was an eye-awakening moment where it's like, this is it. I need to give back with this gift that I've been given. So that's what Miami Felt is. It's going to be so many different directions and what it brings to the game, but most importantly, it's really going to be about giving back.
We're taking away from Miami Felt by just calling it simply a charity. It's more than that.
It's more than that. It's a community. I want it to grow to be something that, even if we attach ourselves to a hotline, you understand, to where that I shared with you, I'm in the middle of my worst run in the tournament series that I've ever experienced. There's other individuals that are playing beyond their bankroll, that are chasing the dream, that are chasing the success, don't understand the dangers or the waters that they're treading in. And if we can be part of a resource for a community that needs help, or helping people find the right person as like a guiding light amongst all the other things that Miami Felt is, then I want it to grow to that too, because that speaks to the level of giving back and helping. So it's not all about the clout. It's not all about the fame. It's not all about the trophies and all that with Miami Felt. Me as an individual, that's something different.
Yeah.
I want it.
That's admirable.
I'm working for it. You understand? But Miami Felt something different. Miami Felt is the felt. It's a table where 9 to 10 guys and girls can get together and put all their differences aside and play.
Right.
Chase the dream, have fun, forget about, you know.
That's a good lead into my next question, which is, if you could sit at a table with anybody through history, past or present, what's your dream poker table look
Jesus.
like? Jesus we could take him as an answer, sure. He's the dealer.
He's keeping track. Yeah, he's the dealer. He is dealing the cards, that is
There
for
you go.
sure.
I'll give you your first one.
Wow, man, that's a question. George Washington.
Yeah, why not?
George Washington.
Is that because
He's the founding father of the country. So there's a lot of different things that I'd love to sit across from George Washington.
you just want him because he cannot tell a lie?
I don't know.
It's an easy tell.
Well, take it
You're
easy,
gonna- you're
man.
gonna take all
What are
his
you
money.
saying? What are you saying? Take it easy. But
right.
some of the poker greats, Phil Ivey, I think, is somebody that I look up to a lot for many different reasons. Yeah, I think it would be a well-balanced poker table. So I can't really pinpoint everybody at this time, but it'd be a mix of like somebody that's larger than life, a comedian, maybe a couple poker pros, and a close friend.
Well, I'm sure your buddy Mark Tag would be there as well, based off of everything that you told me and everything that you're currently playing for. That would be an important person.
Thank you for
right
that,
there.
Mon. Yeah, for sure.
Of course. So I want you to finish this sentence for me. At the poker table, I am
At peace.
at peace.
And not because I'm escaping reality, but poker requires you to be so in the moment and so dialed in. You don't have time to think about the outside world. The only thing that matters is the hand that you're dealt, the cards that come in the community, and how you're gonna play, and the next hand that's coming. So it's more about being in the moment and not really focusing on the future or what's going on outside or what happened yesterday or what happened on the way here or why. I'm at peace when I'm playing poker. Coming and sitting and taking my seat at the felt, pulling up a chair. I'm in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that in various sports, people tend to feel comfortable in their sports' respective chaoses.
For sure.
And for you, I feel like you on the felt is you being your own gladiator in the arena.
Absolutely. I mean, Vaughn, have you ever played poker?
No.
For somebody that has never played, I think that is probably the best example of what I'm saying.
And I have a new appreciation for it, having spoken to you today, because on the surface, it just looks like a fun time. It's maybe something you do casually with friends, but there's a difference between playing catch in the backyard with the pigskin and then being at the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
And that's where we're at right now.
Correct.
So,
this is a different arena, and absolutely, again, you nailed it.
I look forward to seeing you progress through this and
Thank you,
to see how far your charity goes, which we know is more than a charity. It's a community, like you said. See that formulate into something bigger than life. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for stopping by today and inviting us to your world.
Well, Vaughn, I think the thanks goes out to you and what you're doing in your field, and anybody that steps up to the public stage and uses their voice for the betterment of the world deserves all the credit in the world. So thank you for taking the time, and thank you for being yourself, man.
Awesome.
So
Awesome, man.
thank you.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you, brother.
Take care.
You too.
L Bar is where the noise softens, but the bartenders keep things flowing. The 25K hum is somewhere behind us, but Harrison's still dialed. Eyes quiet, pulse steady, the kind of focus you can't fake. Some might celebrate luck, but we came to honor the work. So we mark it right, a shot that fits the felt, the Royal Flush. Crown Royal, peach schnapps, Chambord, and cranberry juice. This is Seminole Hard Rock. This is Bar Hoppers. Signing off from the Hard Rock guitar, cheers to discipline, to Miami Felt giving back, and to the next shuffle. See you in the next one.